Good afternoon. This is Soneja Holloway, and I'm doing a presentation on historically great women in science and technology. I attached this PowerPoint presentation as an attachment in the assignments in the web CT. We're going to go through the table of contents. This is going to be the introduction. I'm working with 5 different women in science and technology. That would be Helen, Blanchard, Edith Clark, Nora Stanton, Olive Dennis, Emily Warren. We have the conclusion and my references. In my introduction, I wanted to state that there are 5 women that I wanted to focus on in my research. Again, there's Helen, Blanchard, Edith Clark, Nora Stanton, Olive Dennis, and Emily Warren. These are some of the greatest women in science and technology that have ever existed. And I believe that they do not receive the credit that they deserve. The first lady I want to speak about is Helen Augusta Blanchard. Helen was born in the year of 1840 to a rich family from Maine, but after her family lost all their money and their wealth, she was forced to rely on her own motorized skills for survival and to assist her family during this difficult time. It was written that she was one of the greatest inventors of the industrial era. She was even compared to Edison. She owned about 28 patents, most of which had to do with the sewing machine, the zigzag stitch, forgive me. The zigzag stitch was one of the most famous because it would seal together the seams of clothing stronger, and it would allow for them to last a lot longer. Her zigzag sewing machine is on display right now at the American History Museum. You can see that. I guess that would be very, very fascinating. The next lady I want to speak about is Edith Clark. Edith Clark was born in the year of 1883. She was the first woman to obtain an electrical engineering degree from MIT. After teaching physics at an all-girls school for a few years, Edith herself went back to school at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where she earned her master's degree in technology, or forgive me, electrical engineering. She was the first woman to earn such a degree in that department. Very, very historical achievement. From 1919 until she retired in 1945, Edith worked for General Electric, GE, as an engineer, during which time she obtained a patent for her graphical calculator. It was used to answer electrical power transmission line problems. A wonderful accomplishment. My next historical woman would be Nora Stanton. Nora is famous for being the first woman member of the American Association of Civil Engineering. She was born in 1883. When she was a young girl, her family moved to New York in the year of 1883 when she was the first woman to graduate from Cornell University with a civil engineering degree. After graduating from college, Nora worked for the American Bridge Corporation and New York Board of Water Supply at the same time. She also served as an assistant engineer for the New York Public Commission. These are great achievements by women, by the way, especially for that particular time in that era. My next woman or lady of historical achievement would be Olive Dennis. Olive Dennis was the first woman of the American Railroad Engineering Association, along with being the second woman to graduate from Cornell University with a degree in civil engineering, a master's degree in math and astronomy from Columbia University. However, it wasn't really easy for her because she was a woman. After a long search in the year 1920, she found work as a draftsman in the engineering department of the Baltimore and Ohio B&O Railroad. That was awesome. My next woman is Emily Warren. Emily was born the second youngest of 12 children. It's a large family. After the untimely death of her father-in-law, she took over the responsibility of communicating Washington's instructions to the workers and of overseeing the Brooklyn Bridge project herself. She was effectively the head engineer of building the Brooklyn Bridge. She pressed through for 11 years. That was the time it took to complete the Brooklyn Bridge. I had no idea a woman was behind the construction and overseeing everything that went into building the Brooklyn Bridge. That's awesome. I have here now my conclusion. This is my conclusion. This is the only tip of the iceberg for us as women. There are so many women that have major accomplishments, yet they are rarely acknowledged. Even today, in 2012. This has to stop. I believe the tide is turned in favor of women in our world today. We won't settle for being in the shadow of men any longer. We are not going to settle for just being beautiful eye candy for men and put on the shelves or like a bird in a cage. A treasured jewel to be admired, just to be treated like second-class citizens. We are women, and hear us roar loudly. Lastly, I have my page of references. Again, I enjoy doing this historically great women of science and technology PowerPoint presentation along with my research paper, because this opened my eyes to the possibility of what is open to me as a woman. I'm intrigued and fascinated by science and technology now because I've taken this course at Eastern Illinois University. And I guess I was intimidated as well because of the male dominance in the field. But now I don't have a fear of that any longer. I believe that I would like to pursue an additional bachelor's degree in this particular field, computer science technology, and at least see where it takes me. I have a strong fascination with computers and software programs, and I learn very fast in these particular areas. And after taking this course, I believe I'm going to go ahead and pursue my degree in this area, the second part of my life. I have 2 adult children. My son will be 27 this year, and my daughter will be 25. I also have a grandson who is 6 months old. And it's as if I have a second opportunity in my life to achieve the goals that I've aspired to achieve when I was much younger. And now taking this course, this is going to give me the opportunity to go ahead and see what I can do as far as science and technology, because this is where the world is going. This is where society is leading us in the avenue of science and technology and computers. And we have to embark upon it. We have to engage it and embrace it, and we have to have more women in these fields in order to mentor younger women in the direction of these particular fields so that they are not male dominated, um, and that women are worthy, and that they have the intelligence, the smarts, and the skills just as men do in these particular fields. And we have our own avenue and perspective to bring to the table that men do not have. Women have our own insights and intuitiveness that men don't have. And once we as women come together collectively in this particular field, I believe things are going to change immensely in our favor and in society as a whole, and for technology to become even better. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I enjoyed it. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.